What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another match preview stream. Running a bit short of time today, so we're going to have to rock and roll with this straight away, starting with a Tottenham update.
Just like Spurs running out of time this season.
Exactly. And we're going to start off with the injury news, and there's obviously really bad injury news regarding Kevin Danso. As we heard from Alistair Gold last night, saying Spurs defender Kevin Danso could be set for a spell on the sidelines with a muscle injury suffered in Tottenham's draw with Bournemouth. It's understood Danso picked up a muscle injury. Spurs official announced this morning that Danso has withdrawn from the Austria squad for the upcoming international break due to injury. And Ange, in his press conference, said that he is out for the game, obviously, hoping to get him back after the international break. However, in positive news, he did say Ben Davies is back and available for selection, and he said that Richarlison could return after the international break as well.
Yeah, so hopefully it's not too bad. We know that we've had more than a few hamstring injuries this season, which has obviously plagued a lot of the injury crisis. Obviously, Kevin Danso is so frustrating for him because he's had such a good start to life at Tottenham, really settling into the team, and that injury is obviously going to set him back. Thankfully, it's coincided with Romero van der Ven returning, but it also adds another problem in terms of what do we do, let's say, on Sunday, if Romero van der Ven start Thursday, which I'm assuming they will now. What are we doing on Sunday with the centre-backs? Davis is going to come in. Are we going to have to rotate both of them, one of them? What's really frustrating is we were so close to having four centre-backs fit again and having that rotation options, and now it's another setback. So hopefully he's back onto international break, and it's only these next two games. So in that, for him, it's probably good timing, the international break. But if it's worse than initially feared, then it causes a lot of problems when it comes to how Ange rotates those centre-backs.
Yeah, I mean, it also massively depends on what happens tomorrow night, in my opinion, because if we do go through, we're going to have to manage their minutes, Romero and Van der Ven, obviously a lot better, and make sure that they're playing in those Europa League games. If not, then they will be able to play probably more Premier League minutes than without the Europa League. So I think if we do go through tomorrow night, then I think then Davis and Gray got to come in on the weekend.
I just don't think he does it. I think he probably plays one of them.
Why? I don't understand why he would, though.
Because I still think he wants to do well in the Premier League. I don't think it depends what kind of condition they're in. If either of them are able to play two of those games, I think he'll probably play one of them. I don't think he'll play both, but let's say I think maybe a good chance Romero might play both of them if now that Danso's injured, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But we also got official confirmation from Tottenham Hotspur today regarding next year's ticket prices, and everyone was fearing those ticket price increases. Well, those fears have been alleviated, as Tottenham say we can now confirm that there is no increase on either season ticket or match prices across both our men's and women's teams for the 25-26 season.
Good news, and obviously you have to say not congratulations, but well, I'm also saying to Tottenham, I'm saying to the Supporters Trust, well done for lobbying for ticket freezes, and obviously change for Tottenham as well for piling the pressure on the club, which means there's a lot of kind of focus on the hierarchy right now, given the protest and all that kind of thing. So I think they know with such microscopic attention on them, any kind of wrong move is going to be blown up a lot, and they know if they were to raise the prices in our current situation, that a lot of fans would have been very, very unhappy about it. So I think that was the right thing to do. Obviously, they're following the lead of the likes of Liverpool, Brentford, I think Bournemouth as well, all freezing their season ticket prices for next season. So little positive thing there, but I think that's the thing they should have done.
Yeah, I mean, we got crazy. I mean, the ticket prices are a joke in itself, even without the price raise, to be honest. But look, it's a good thing that we don't have to pay more next season. Genuinely, after I was watching that Ratcliffe interview with Gary Neville on the Overlap a few days ago, Ratcliffe literally confirmed on that interview saying that Man United are raising their prices. He says, we're raising it, not a lot, just a little bit we're raising it by. And I thought definitely Daniel Levy and Tottenham are going to follow suit on that. But yeah, good stuff that after the season that we've had and after the batterings that they put us through, kicking us around all season as a fan base, it's good to see that the prices are freezing. But we're going to finish off talking about a potential transfer news, and a publication, I think it's transfers.com, I can't remember off the top of my head, say that Tottenham have now opened talks with Angel Gomez over a free transfer when his Lille contract expires in the summer.
Free transfer, sign me up. That's what Lade Levy will probably be saying. I like him. I think he's done really well for Lille. I think he's really come a long way in the last few years, to be fair, since leaving Man United. And obviously got a few England caps in the last few international breaks. So it remains to be seen whether Tuchel will continue to trust him like Lee Carsley did. But I think he performed really well when he got those England call-ups. So I think there's going to be a lot of interest in him in the summer, especially as he's English. He probably wants to return to the Premier League at some point. Looks like he's not going to sign that contract. I do think he's a kind of profile we don't have, to be honest. But
in terms of what?
In terms of like a midfielder who's very much a player who like knits the play together. Like he's a bit of more of a controller, but he's not really a 6. He's more of an 8. But he's a player a bit like, I'm trying to who to compare him to, but he's one who likes to basically get on the ball, keeps ticking over, really good passing range, good athleticism as well. So I do like him, but could we do better potentially? I think he would be a really good...
price.
No, not for that price, that's for sure. I think he would be a really good squad player. But do I think he comes in and upgrades the midfield? I'm not certain about that.
Is he better? Is he an upgrade on Bissouma?
I don't think he replaces Basuma. Like he's not really the same position.
Who's he coming to replace?
That's the thing. I think he's more of like competing with Sarr and Bergvall, that kind of position. That's what I'd think.
And Archie Gray.
And Gray.
So do we really need him?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if we do. But I think he's a good squad player. He'll be a good squad player for us.
Time will tell, I guess. Time will tell. The transfer window obviously doesn't open until the summer, and this one has to be done pretty much as soon as possible because there's going to be a lot of interest in him in signing a pre-contract before the start of the transfer window. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you like to see Angel Gomez through the door at Spurs? And that is your Tottenham update for today. We're going to move on. We are going to go into a predicted lineup just in a second for you guys. I'm just going to line up the lineups for you guys. Just give me a sec.
There we go. It's not the easiest predicted lineup, this one, actually, I would say. There's a few decisions to make. All right. Here you go.
All right, let's do it. All right, now it is your... We'll just change the title. This is your predicted lineup for the big clash tomorrow night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham against AZ Alkmaar. It is now do or die, not just in the Europa League, but for the season as a whole. And it's a massive game, and I can't stress that enough. In terms of the injury news, what have we got going into it?
Yeah, so as confirmed, we send the update. Dan, so out of this game, wasn't seen in training today as well. They did the open training. Obviously, he's unavailable. Richarlison battling to be fit for the first team, but not for this game and probably not for Sunday either, more likely the international break. But positive news that he should be back soon as well, because we could do with some of his kind of stuff off the bench. And in better news, Ben Davies back fit and available and was spotted in training. And seeing as Danso is injured, it's good to get one back. It's 1 in, 1 out. That's how Tottenham do things. So yeah, really good to have Ben Davies back fit and available and probably be on the bench for this one.
All right, so let's get into it. In goal is obviously going to be Vicario. Brilliant since he's come back. He's our number one, and he is obviously a high-quality keeper that he's showing at the moment.
Yeah, did it. He was the one put in front of the press conference, and I think he did really well. I think Vicario was was asked about are the players still behind Ange, all these different things. He was saying absolutely that he is. So I think he's had a really big part to play in that first leg. Really important, and I think it's going to be really important that we make sure that we're not conceding any more goals, because if we concede one, all of a sudden we need 3, so it's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, so obviously we're going for a 4-3-3 formation. So in the back line is a really interesting situation, because it kind of threw me the fullbacks that he went for in the weekend against Bournemouth, because he went for Pedro Porro on the right. He went for Pedro Porro on the right and Jed Spence on the left. And I thought that's what he was going to go for in this Europa League game. And he rested a doggy, which makes me feel like a doggy will start a left back.
I think he will. And the question is, who starts a right back then? Big question, because Porro, I thought, was missed in the first leg. Spence has been our most informed fullback, but he does need to rotate. He does need to keep things fresh, and obviously Udogie didn't start on Sunday. So in the first leg, he did go with Spence and Udogie. So does that kind of imply they're our first choice at the moment?
Yes, but obviously we had a very poor game. Nothing to do with them two specifically. I think you can't really leave out Spence at the moment. But then again, we miss a lot on the ball when Porro's not on the pitch.
I read a stat just before coming live that in the last 4 Premier League game weeks, no defender has made more chances than Porro.
Yeah. I don't know which way he's going to go, to be honest. I think Destiny's definitely at left back.
Yeah, I think he's the one. Obviously, he's the freshest, so I think he's going to play here.
It's just about who goes right back. I mean, I'd probably... What my ideal pairing would be is Porro and Spence, and leave Udogie on the bench. But seeing as Udogie was on the bench on the weekend, I just don't see how he doesn't start, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was surprised. This is why I was surprised he went for Spence and Udogie in the first leg. I thought he was going to go for Spence and Porro, then go Udogie Spence against Bournemouth, then bring back Spence and Porro in this one. But he didn't do that. Is he going to leave out Porro? When I do think his creativity will be needed. But then again, Jed Spence is in great form, and I think he obviously has his own qualities. But as well, some people are saying at the moment he's not as good on the right as he has been on the left in recent weeks. So
it's true. And I actually do think Spence has had a bit of a dip the last couple of games.
So, but I think there'll be uproar if he leaves out Spence. That's the thing, especially if we go out.
There'll be uproar, but if we go through, no
one's going to care. No, but if we go out, people are going to be, how can he leave out Spence? And people are going to look to that decision.
I've got a feeling he's going to leave Spence out.
Put him on the bench. I've got a feeling he might do as well. I think he will start Porro.
So go for Porro. Pedro Porro at right back. We're facing the wrath of everyone shouting at their computer screens and phones and wherever you're watching us from.
We need his delivery.
How are you leaving Spence out? How are you leaving Spence out? But we are going for Porro and Udogie at fullbacks. In the centre-back positions, I do think it's a return to the dynamic duo of Kuti Romero and Mickey van der Ven. Obviously, they both got minutes in the game on the weekend. Romero looked very rusty. Van der Ven looked fairly good when he came on. But I think, as I said in the post-match review, that hour that he got on those legs will do him the world of good, and hopefully we'll see a much better Kuti Romero. For sure, and it's going to be very important. Hopefully that rustiness will be out of his game after those mistakes he made really early on. Hopefully that's out of his system now. Van der Ven, he said, felt really good after the game against... on the weekend against Bournemouth for the half an hour he played, which obviously is really important because that was why he was kind of left out against Elfsborg after he played 45 minutes. He said he didn't feel good after that game. So it's really important that Van der Ven got back on the pitch and didn't really feel any discomfort, which is really important. So first time we've seen this pairing since the December game. It only lasted 15 minutes on that occasion. Hopefully it lasts longer on this one. Yeah, maybe it'll last 20 minutes this time. Moving into the midfield, I think... We know it's no Bentancur. Yeah, Bentancur's suspended, so I think it's going to be Bergvall on the 6. You think Bergvall on the 6? Yeah. I kind of agree. I think it will be Bergvall on the 6 as well, which is good, but it's also, do we miss a bit from him kind of in those pockets a bit closer to goal? Is he a bit wasted being a bit too deep potentially? But I also think... Every time he plays there, he impresses. I kind of think he wouldn't have started Basuma on Sunday if he was going to start this game, I feel. But then again, he started Sarr, and we might think Sarr might start. So I think Bergvall, I think he kind of trusts me a bit more. And I think as well, the fact we have to take the game to RZ, and he has that bit more just quality at the moment, not giving the ball away in stupid areas, that passing ability is going to be so important. So, yeah, I think Bergvall on the 6, we know what he can offer off the ball as well. Is there an opportunity for Archie Gray to play the 6? Well, he didn't play, did he? No. So there is a possibility for sure, because you could say he was well rested and maybe we get an opportunity. The only problem I have with it is this the game to throw him in? Yeah, that's the thing. And also another question mark I would say is how much has he actually been training in midfield? In training when he's been playing centre back, playing full back, and all these things. And it's like, even if we've saying now these fullbacks and centre backs are back, he's going to be a midfielder.
he's probably only had a few days to get up to speed on how we want to play our midfield. So I can see maybe being an 8, but putting him in the 6 with that kind of responsibility, I don't know if it's a smart thing to do.
Well, let's keep Bergvall there for now. In the 8, I think there's an option of Archie Gray, Pape Sarr. Archie Gray or Pape Sarr, really.
Yeah. And Sarr obviously started on the weekend. I do kind of feel like he'll start again, but I feel bad for Gray because he doesn't deserve to be left out. And he does deserve a chance in midfield. Maybe he'll get that on Sunday. I don't know if because it's such an important game. I just don't know if it's smart. Maybe that's the only thing I would say. But
I think on the back of Sarr's performance, because he was the best out of the trio by far, I think Sarr starts.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. So we'll put Sarr in. And then the number 10 position, who else? James Maddison.
Yeah, James Maddison goes into the number 10. Again, really good cameo when he came on. He was really poor out in Alkmaar, to be honest, and I expected a lot more from him. But when we last had them here at home, he was really the one, being the pace setter, dictating the tempo of the game. Everything was going through him. So we need a similar performance from him like he had against Alkmaar early on in the season.
100%. So he ran the show that day, and he's obviously been doing the interviews before the game with Michael Bridge on Sky Sports, saying he doesn't mind taking the flak as long as people leave the likes of Bergvall and Gray alone. Well, don't worry, everyone's leaving them alone. They're playing well.
No, we're not leaving them alone. We're giving them highest.
Yeah, we're giving praise. So he's obviously he's saying he doesn't mind taking the flak at the moment as one of the senior players. He said he can take it. He said, though, interesting enough, he said he's happy with his numbers, but obviously with the team, he's not happy with where we are. But it's an interesting one. He feels like he's having a good season, he said, but he feels like, obviously, when you take into consideration the team, obviously he's not happy with how things are going. So I thought that was quite an interesting thing for him to say. But he also said he's spoke to Tuchel, hopes to be in the England squad. So going to have to perform in this game to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a midfield 3 of Bergvall, Sarr and Maddison. Moving on to the right-hand side of the attack, I actually got a feeling Odebear is going to retain his spot, but on the right-hand side.
See, I have a feeling he's going to go for Tell, potentially.
Tell.
Because he didn't play at all on the weekend. And he was saying before the weekend it was a good he needs a bit of rest because he's come in and pretty much played all the games because no Solanke and all that. Now, he didn't play at all, didn't even come off the bench on Sunday. So I kind of feel like that was maybe keeping him on ice for this game potentially and keeping him fresh. I don't think Johnson starts. I think he's a good opportunity for him to be a superstar. But then again, Odebear was quite good, even when he moved to the right. So I can see a case for him sticking with Odebear as well. I think it's between Odebear and Tell, I feel. I just got a feeling he might go for Tell on the right, give him a go there.
It's just a random... I mean, it's such a big game just to try something out, I mean, at least Odebear was tried and tested on the right-hand side on the weekend and actually did really well.
Yeah. Did he play 90 minutes, Odebear?
He played
90, didn't he?
Close to 90 minutes. Did he get taken off at all?
I don't think so. I think he played 90 because he's finished the game on the right, didn't he?
Yeah, he played 90 minutes, as did Sarr.
Sarr also played 90 minutes, yeah. But I don't, yeah. Well, the only thing is we know that Solanke and Son are probably going to be the other two.
Solanke and Son for sure. Yeah, Sonny on the left, Solanke up top.
So
Sonny was really good when he came on. Solanke...
Yeah, mixed game.
It was a mixed game, but we need that skill set going into this. Go into every game, really. But he adds so much, even when he's not playing too well and getting involved in the attacking phase, he's just adding so much for the team. So them two are dead certain to start. It's just on the right-hand side. Are we going for Tell?
Oh, well, let's go for Odebear. He had a good game. He'll retain his place. But then I just feel like if Tell comes on, who's he going to come on for? Maybe Son.
Well, it depends on circumstances in the game, doesn't it?
I don't know if he's going to... Is he going to leave him out completely of 2 games in a row, seeing he's got no minutes? But
I'm sure we'll see him at some point during the game.
Be interesting. Obviously, we're also facing the possibility and probability, I would say, of Mikey Moore probably being left out again.
Yeah, I feel for Mikey at the moment, and he had such a strong game, didn't he, when we last played them at home?
It's kind of who do you leave out for him?
Yeah,
but
he's not even making match squads at the minute.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm talking about of the squad.
Oh, of the squad.
I'm saying he's probably not even going to be on the bench.
Who could? I mean, Scarlett's getting ahead of him.
Yeah, that's probably the only one. But is Scarlett probably even going to be left out now?
Yeah. I don't know. Is there a bigger bench for Europe than there is for There is a bigger bench for Europe, isn't there, than there usually is for the Premier League?
9 in the league. Is it a bit more? Is it more? I can't remember.
So against Alkmaar, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. Okay, so maybe you can make the bench for this one. Was he on the bench in the first leg? Can't remember.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he was, but in the Premier League he's not. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I fully expect Mikey Moore to be on the bench for this one. So this is the lineup that we are predicting going into the big game tomorrow night. Vicario in goal, Porro right back, Udogie left back, Van de Ven and Cuti Romero in the centre back positions, Bergvall, Sarr and Maddison in the midfield three, Odegaard on the right, Sonny on the left, and big Dom Solanke up top. When is the last time this back four started?
Was it Chelsea?
That's mad, isn't it?
But we didn't even have Vicario then. So we didn't have Vicario in that game.
Yeah.
So the last time that 5 started, was it maybe Ipswich? Was that game at Ipswich? No, because Dragoshin started that game. So probably the game before. No, the game before was Europa League game. So the game before, was it maybe Villa? But even then, I think Dragoshin started. I think Dragoshin started the Villa game as well.
It's mad to think about when the last time these guys all started together. Let's have a look. So the last game, I don't know, it was even before Villa because Van de Ven wasn't there for Villa.
Yeah, I was about to say, so was it City? No, because City in the Cup, Van de Ven played at left back and then got injured. Dragoshin started that one as well. So
either way, it's a very long time ago.
Was it Old Trafford? No way. When we won 3-0 at Old Trafford.
It could very well have been Old Trafford.
So it wasn't Villa, City in the Cup, Palace away maybe. Was it Palace away? Yeah, Palace away was the last time we had that back 5.
That doesn't bode well.
We lost 1-0.
But look, that is the lineup we're going for. Let us know in the comment section below. Do you think Ange Postecoglou will go for a different lineup? But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get this off screen and we will go ahead and go into our match preview. Tottenham against Alkmaar. It is now do or die in our season. Massive game for Ange Postecoglou. Massive game for Tottenham Hotspur as a club, and a massive game for us fans as well. I want to see all the fans going there in full voice, backing the team, and coming back with no voice really, because I think this is the kind of game it is, isn't it? It's literally do or die in our season, and I can't stress the importance of what this means on the outlook of our season. Even though it was a shit first leg, even though it's been a disastrous season, there is still something that can be salvaged, whether you believe it can happen or not. That's not the point here. The point here is that you get into the next round and you live to fight another day.
Yeah, and I think it's so important we do that. I think if we were to go out tomorrow, especially if it would, turn out to be a really embarrassing performance and all that kind of stuff, I think Ange's job at that point, especially for large swaths of the fan base, becomes completely untenable. Whether the club can resist that kind of pressure to let him go, even potentially immediately, or especially at the end of the season, if tomorrow goes against him, it might be too much for the club to bear, in my opinion, especially if it's really another embarrassing performance like the first leg. So tomorrow couldn't be more crucial. But more importantly, the Europa League is still there. There's still an opportunity there. If we can get this team playing like we know they can play, like we have at times played under this manager, there is an opportunity for us to go far in this tournament and really give it a good crack. The players need that confidence boost. They need something to go their way, and they need to start believing again. I think clearly this team is lacking a lot of confidence, and especially the way we play, it's so important to physically dominate your opponent, to try things, to always go for that extra mile, go for the throat of the opposition. When you see that space, really run into it and attack it rather than be hesitant like I've seen players be before. When you're playing out the back, I see players sometimes scared that they're going to give the ball away, and that leads in an ironic way to them giving the ball away and being hesitant instead of being full confidence. And tomorrow we need to somehow find that level again that we know we can find, and we know that RZ are a good team. They showed in the first leg. They're in good form as well, I think, domestically, and they're playing quite well at the moment. And we saw in Europa League, they obviously did really well against Galatasaray in the last round, and they beat us at home. So no doubt it's going to be a difficult game, but we know we have the quality to win this game. We know we're better than them when we're at our best and on our day, and we just got to find that tomorrow. And it means starting from minute one, going at them and showing that they're in a game from minute one. That's the most important thing.
It's a good point you raise about minute one, right? Because there's too many games in the last month or so where we've been too slow out of the traps. You look at the Ipswich game, you look at the game on the weekend, you look at plenty of games, Man City in the first half. You know, we're conceding way too many easy chances for the opposition to score. Most of the time, the opposition haven't made the most out of these chances that they've created, or we've been the master of our own downfield in a lot of these moments, right? It's so important that we don't give the opposition that hope in the opening 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. Do not give them these opportunities. Go out there and earn the right to play, and go out there and do the right things and start off banging the game. We can't afford to start the game off like we've been doing over the past month. We just cannot afford it.
Especially if we concede an early goal, they can't. That would basically give us a mountain to climb. Yeah. And all of a sudden, the belief will drain out the stadium immediately, and we can't afford for that to happen. And we've started games too sloppily, too often, especially in recent weeks. And tomorrow is so crucial that we're on it from the first minute. Everyone's looking sharp, everyone's looking confident, demanding the ball, going forward. We have to realise what an opportunity this is. And whatever's happened this season, there is still opportunity here, and there's still a chance for us to end the season in an amazingly special way. And whatever, again, as much of a disaster as season it's been, it could still be if we win this competition, it would still be our first trophy in 17 years, and it would still be something really, really special for this football club to go all the way in this trophy, whatever happens in the league. So we have to sense that, we have to realise that how important this is, and we have to see the players fighting for that, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a massive, massive occasion. 2 games against Alkmaar that we've played this season, both have been very hard-fought games. Well, I say hard-fought. We didn't fight very hard in the last game, but I'm saying RZ gave us a great game in both of them. The one at home, we won 1-0, penalty. We had, good opportunities in the second half, but we couldn't really score from open play. Tough opposition, really tough, young, exuberant. They're going to fight, they're going to press, they're going to hound, they're going to harry. In the second leg, not in the second leg, but in the first leg of the knockouts, we just were so toothless. We could barely create a chance. We could barely put 3 passes together. We're just going to need to get that out of our system, brush ourselves down, and play with authority like we know we can do against this kind of level of opposition.
We're going to have to show that wasn't us last week, and we're going to have to show that was something that doesn't represent who we are and how we can play. And unfortunately, whatever happened last week, whether it be the players just going in it with the wrong mentality, or they're buckling under the pressure, or whatever it is, we know Spurs teams historically away in Europe have always struggled, even in our greatest Premier League team under Poch. You see what happened when we went away to Ghent. We lost 1-0, and it was a similar display than we saw last week.
Yeah.
So we know that this club has it in us, and we definitely know this team has it in us, but getting them back to the lane, getting them back with our fans in the stadium, we have to show who we are, and we have to show that what we're capable of, and we have to I want to see us blowing them away. I want to see us completely going through the throw. I think it's going to be very difficult, but I need Romero. He's been in big competitions and won them. I want to see him stepping up. It's time for Maddison, Stone, those two who have been kind of hot and cold a lot of the season. I need them to show their very best form tomorrow. Solanke coming back from fitness. He's played 90 minutes now. We need to see what he's capable of tomorrow. And I think we can rely on the likes of Jed and not Jed if Jed starts, but like the likes of Bergvall to put in good performances, because we've seen they're playing well, but we need these senior players tomorrow to really step up for the team, and they've been there and done that. A lot of these players have been there, especially people like Romero. He has won big trophies. He knows how to do it.
He's probably the only one, actually.
Well, but you say Bentancur, but obviously he's not going to be playing tomorrow. We need him to really lead this team tomorrow, and we're going to have all our leadership group tomorrow. All 4 of them probably starting. So I don't want to see any lack of leadership on that pitch.
Yeah, We need to see Sonny as well have a game like he had against Elfsborg, where he's just relentless down that left-hand side, taking on his man, getting the ball into the box, getting in those central areas, getting in those scoring positions. Because when Sonny gets in those positions, he's deadly. And I thought he looked really sharp when he came on in the Bournemouth game for that second half. Obviously, won the penalty really well. He was getting in those positions, capping shots off, one just wide of the post. So I think I 100% agree with you. Because you can only go so far with these young players, right? We all know they're going to turn up pretty much every game, but that's not what's going to get you over the line. What's going to get you over the line is these experienced players coming to the fore, and it's been way too often this season where they've let us down. So it's time for them to step up in this game when it really matters. And all the players you mentioned, and I'll add Sonny in there as well, because if these players are on it and if these players have a good game, then I have no doubt that we go and win this game.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, AZ have shown what they're capable of. The Poku, the winger, he's been brilliant.
Big trouble in both legs,
both games, really big trouble. And he's one obviously down the left or the right, whichever side he's going to start in. We're going to have to be wary of him on the counter. Obviously, Troy Parrott's obviously. I thought he had a decent game in the first leg, gave us quite a bit of trouble, whether it be trying to get on the end of things, whether it be pressing us, whether it be winning headers. But he's not going to be up against Archie Gray this time. He's going to be up against Romero and Van der Ven. So I'm hoping to dominate those kind of scenarios. I think a lot of it will come down to as well how I think a lot of it will come down to like the anxiety that a lot of the fans have with Romero and Van der Ven both starting, seeing as they haven't started, as you said, since we said October time when we lost to Palace. And every time we've seen either of them play, one of them usually broken down. So if those two can last 90 minutes, I do think we'll have a good chance of making sure that RZ have very little going the other way and very little chances. I think that's going to be really, really important going into this game. But I think Van der Ven and Romero are going to be crucial. But I think if we can kind of do the right things pressing-wise, be a lot more intense than we've been, do the right things in possession, not giving away stupid passes like we've seen over the last few weeks, I do think that RZ will struggle to cope with us. I really do. But I also feel like we're still, I feel, in terms of getting our full team back up to speed and back to full fitness, we're still potentially kind of a couple games away from that, having this team together again, because they're only just getting back together. So I don't know. I'm undecided whether I think we're going to be at our best tomorrow, or it's still going to be a bit of a stodgy performance while the teams are getting back together after so long it was decimated. You're seeing a few green shoots over the last few weeks, but it's still clearly not there yet. We're still not very consistent in terms of our performance. You're seeing some good, but still too much bad. So tomorrow, I still expect there'll be a bit of rustiness, to be honest, but let's hope we can get that out of our system as soon as possible and get back to playing the way we want to.
Score prediction?
I think it's going to be... Something tells me we're going to go to extra time tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel that way as well.
Something tells me it's going to be like 2-1 extra time. I feel like it's going to be 1-0 to them, and then we're going to get 2 goals in the second half, take it extra time, and then it's anyone's guess at that point.
I think we're winning on penalties tomorrow.
Although, I would say if it goes to extra time, that could benefit us because we now have a squad, whereas before we didn't. So I would probably back us if we went to extra time to probably get another goal or 2 in that period. I'm going to go 3-1 after extra time.
3-1. I'm going to go Spurs to win 2-1 and Spurs to go through on the dreaded penalty shootout. And it's going to be a very nervy game. But I think Spurs are just going to kind of like just about get over the line tomorrow night. And it's going to be a nervy night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But look, by hook or by crook, we just need to make it into the next round. That's all that matters tomorrow.
Big question, though. If we do go out tomorrow, is that his last day in charge?
I think he'll probably still be in charge of the weekend, and then, it's a long 2.5 weeks till our next game, and I think anything can happen in that time, and I think he probably will lose his job.
I think it all depends on the context of the game. It's really embarrassing. We lose 3-0 or something.
No,
I think he's
doesn't
probably
matter
gone.
The context of the game.
I'm not saying from my point of view. I'm saying how I think it'll play out. I think if it's a really embarrassing performance and there's nothing you can take away from it, then I do think he'll probably be gone. But I think if we play really well and we somehow get unlucky and not go through, I think the club will probably give him till the end of the season. But
I disagree.
I think the fan base will probably be the pitchforks will be out if we go out tomorrow.
Think, you know, if there's no sort of any way that you can paint this in a positive light if we go out to RZ Alkmaar, even if we have a slightly positive performance or a good performance and still go out. It's embarrassing to go out at this stage of the tournament to a team like RZ Alkmaar. No disrespect, because RZ are a decent side. They're playing well. They've given us 2 hard games. But we should never be going out to a team like RZ Alkmaar in the Europa League. We should be stamping our authority. Our team is probably worth probably 6 times the amount of that their squad is worth. You know what I mean? The revenues that both clubs generate, the quality of player that both clubs have. You know what I mean? It just goes to show, right? We have a player that basically couldn't get in our squad, and he's their star player. That's basically what it is, right? So it's an embarrassment if Spurs were to go out tomorrow.
I don't disagree.
So no matter how we go out, Ange has got to go if we do go out tomorrow.
I'm just saying I've already said if we go out tomorrow, I'll be Ange out. I'm telling you, I said that already. But I'm just saying what the club will do, what I think the club will do. I kind of feel like even if we go out tomorrow, there's a good chance he'll probably still be here till the end of the season. All
right. Well, look, that is your match preview for you guys. Sim is in the stadium for you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be on the watch along with Mr. Danny Kiri Aku. So be there.
Fireworks.
Be square. Expect the fireworks tomorrow night. And yeah. So we're both going for Spurs wins. We're both going for Spurs to get over the line tomorrow night. So if you're in that stadium, make sure you sing up for the lads. No matter what you feel about Tottenham Hotspur at this current moment in time, no matter what you feel about Ange Postecoglou, just get your voices heard and scream those boys over that line tomorrow night. Thank you everyone for joining me today, and Sim. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.